I'm Anil Kumar, and here is second question from Advanced Functions Unit 3. Now there was a request from one of my viewers that I should be sharing the real test paper. You should know that 75% of the questions on my videos are from real test papers, and that too last 10 years test papers, right? The best are there on my YouTube videos. Now here is one very good example. We need to sketch a polynomial function f of x equals to minus 0.1 times x plus 2 whole cube times x minus 3 square times x plus 6 whole square. Now you can copy the question, pause the video, and then sketch. Let us discuss how to sketch such a graph. We have to look for the degree of the equation and the leading coefficient, right? Now the leading coefficient is negative. That means what? Right side down. So that is the right side down, facing downwards. It ends in quadrant 4. Let's count the degree. 2 plus 2, 4. 4 plus 3, 7. Odd degree means opposite ends. So the end behavior is right side down and opposite ends. So that is the end behavior. Now let's see the zeros along with its multiplicity. This 0 is at minus 2 and it is cubic in nature. So at minus 2 we'll make a 0 which is cubic in nature. Then we have a 0 at 3 which is quadratic in nature. Order is 2 or multiplicity is 2. So at x equals to 3 we have multiplicity or order of 2. It is quadratic in nature. And at x equals to minus 6 we have a 0 which is of order 2. So it will be quadratic in nature. So first mark all your zeros. Then look into their multiplicity or order and sketch the graph. Now, so the graph will come from quadrant 1, hit at minus 6. Since it is of degree 2, it is going to bounce back, right? And then return and then pass through the x-axis like a cubic function. Now when you draw this, be careful to show that the x-axis is tangent to your curve at this point, right? And then you can go and return from 3 like a parabola. Now it is very important to also find the y-intercept. So before you connect these points for accuracy, you should be looking for some other points, especially the y-intercept. To get this value, what should you do? Plug in 0 for x, use calculator, find the value, right? And then when you sketch this graph, mark it, right? If it is worth very high marks, it could be. In that case, you can also find couple of points. For example, this is a good point between minus 6 and minus 2. That is a suggestion. It is really dependent on time on hand. But critical points to mark are x-intercepts and y-intercepts. Plus, be careful about the zeros. How the smooth curve is going to connect these points really gives you full marks. I hope that explains it, right? And you're in a position to understand and sketch such a graph. In the next video, we will discuss the next question from this test paper. Thank you and all the best.